Welcome to Mindful Audiobooks, your space for clarity, awareness, and deep personal growth. Today we explore one of the most subtle forces that shapes your life, your relationships, and your success: the ego. Not the loud arrogance people usually talk about, but the quiet patterns that hold you back without you even realizing it. Have you ever left a conversation feeling that something wasn't right, or noticed that opportunities pass you by without a clear reason? Stay with me, because what you're about to hear might completely change how you see yourself. Imagine this. You walk out of a meeting convinced you did well. You spoke clearly, defended your ideas, and stayed confident. Everything seemed perfect. But there was one small moment. Someone tried to speak, and you interrupted them. Not loudly, not aggressively, just enough to make sure your point was heard. For a brief second, the room went silent. Not impressed, not intimidated, just silent. And in that silence, something shifted. Without saying a word, people quietly decided that you weren't someone they truly wanted to listen to anymore. Later that day, your mind starts replaying that moment. Not what you said, but how the energy changed, how people stopped engaging. And deep down, you realize something uncomfortable. This wasn't the first time. Here's the truth most people never realize. Your ego doesn't destroy your life with big dramatic failures. It does it quietly, in small moments. Moments when you feel the need to prove yourself, when you react instead of listening, when you protect your image instead of growing. From the inside, it feels like confidence, but in reality, it's fear. Fear of being wrong, fear of losing control, fear of not being enough. Your ego doesn't need to be loud to be dangerous. It only needs to be automatic. Before you even notice it, your body reacts. Tension in your chest, the urge to interrupt, the need to correct. But you're not responding to what was said. You're reacting to how it made you feel. And this is where real change begins: awareness. Ego feels like power, but it's actually compensation. It fills the gap between who you are and who you think you need to be. The moment you stop trying to prove yourself in every situation, something powerful happens. You move from reacting to understanding, from defending to listening. Take a slow breath and notice the space that appears when you don't react immediately. That space is where control lives. You can be intelligent, talented, and hardworking and still lose opportunities, not because you lack skill, but because of how people experience you. People don't just work with talent, they work with energy. And when ego is present, they feel it. Think about the most respected person in any room. They're not the loudest, they don't interrupt. When challenged, they pause, they listen, and then they respond with clarity. This is not weakness. This is strategic humility, one of the rarest and most powerful traits you can develop. Next time someone disagrees with you, don't rush to respond. Pause, breathe, and ask a simple question. Can you explain more? You'll notice something powerful. Tension disappears and understanding begins. When you speak less, people listen more. When you listen more, people trust you more. And when people trust you, opportunities come to you naturally. Success is not built in one big moment. It's built in small behaviors repeated every day. The people who grow the fastest are not always the smartest. They are the most adaptable, because they are not controlled by their ego. If you want to start changing today, begin with 3 simple habits. First, pause before you react. Take one deep breath before you speak. Second, reflect daily. Ask yourself honestly, where did my ego control me today? And third, listen fully. Let people finish completely before you respond. These small actions may seem simple, but over time, they will completely transform how you think, how you communicate, and how others see you. One day, you'll notice something powerful. The need to prove yourself will begin to disappear. You will feel calmer, clearer, more in control,
This is real freedom. You don't rise by proving more. You rise by reacting less. You rise by listening more. You rise by letting go. If this audiobook helped you see yourself more clearly, don't forget to subscribe to Mindful Audiobooks, leave a comment with your biggest takeaway, and support the channel by liking this video. Stay aware, stay present, and remember, the quietest power is often the strongest.